De Grigley gives you the ability to look at the world as an artist. De Grigley delivers it in a different way. This school, within 9 months, will transform your life. You're not only going to be happy, but you're going to be wealthy. You're going to learn from the masters. You will be a phenomenal stylist, and you'll look at the world as an artist.
Discover the De Grigley difference at degrigley.com.
Welcome back. We were discussing over the break that there's 2 new pretty interesting elements to the conference this year.
There are. We have a career networking center this year and a health and wellness fair.
Okay.
So to go along with the theme, we wanted to make sure that people are taking good care of themselves, being compassionate about yourself and how you're feeling. So our plan is to have someone talk about Alzheimer's, someone to talk about breast cancer awareness, and through the Career and Life Planning Center, what we certainly are hearing about the economy, how many people are still unemployed or underemployed, and so we have a number of professionals. Johnson & Hill recruiters are going to be there, Bay State recruiters will be there. They're going to offer people in advance of the conference an opportunity to send in their resume, to have it critiqued, to actually go through a phone interview, and then the day of the conference to set up a 20-minute speed interview and to immediately get feedback on your interviewing techniques and skills.
The feedback on the resume alone is like awesome.
I like the speed interview. I know this area, there's been quite a few. I actually used to host some speed dating events, and there's a lot of different organizations that do that. But I think a speed interview with the economy the way that it is and people finding out, that's a great idea because it gives you all those quick tips. That's great.
So in addition to hearing from powerful speakers during the course of the day, we really want to be all about taking action also and making sure that people come away with some really practical skills that they can apply to themselves and hopefully get themselves back gainfully employed.
Wonderful. So please let our viewers know some of the details on as far as getting involved, the cost and where and all that good stuff.
Terrific. Well, again, the best place to go to register is to baypathconference.com. There you will be able to read stories about the speakers that are coming and the topics. You will also be able to register on there. Registration right now, early bird registration is at $225. We have not raised the price in over 10 years. So we really believe it's a good value for a conference right in your own backyard where you don't have to drive too far for it. You don't have to stay overnight for it. And we really feel strongly that it's important to keep this right here at the Mass Mutual Center, Springfield, right in our backyard. So $225 between now and February 10th. So February 10th is the important date. That's when the price will go up to $300 for all.
Okay.
Sponsors for the event, People's Bank, again, huge thank you to them. Came on board again as a major sponsor. Bay State Health, Health New England, Yankee Candle are some of our major sponsors, and of course media sponsors like you and WEIB and the Republican and Business West and a whole host of other publications.
Is there still an opportunity for viewers who may be interested in being a sponsor or having a booth at the event?
There is absolutely, there's ability for a lower level, level 3 sponsor and exhibitor space, and we always have over 50 exhibitors that are there for the day, so they're wonderful opportunities.
That's also a wonderful, wonderful part because you can get information about a lot of different things right here in the Valley and beyond.
Bring your credit card because from jewelry to handbags,
it's all of the above.
Okay, great. So thank you so much. Was there anything else that you want to kind of
just
huge
let us
thank
know,
you to
Brianna Sittler. Brianna Sittler is our Director of Special Programs, so we can't do this conference without her. She is the coordinator of all the logistics behind the scenes and sponsors. Man, if we just did not have the sponsors, we would not be able to continue to bring this conference to the greater Springfield area.
And we have to support each other, definitely. So.
Women supporting women.
Absolutely.
And taking action.
And taking action.
To be healthy.
Well, thank you so much. We will see you at the conference. Thanks again for coming today.
Thank you.
Welcome back to IMO. Ladies, I don't know if you heard, in Chicago, there was a woman who was recently fired for working through her lunch break. And I believe it was either yesterday or the day before. She had sued the company that she worked for. Either yesterday or the day before. She won the case. But in this time where most people don't have a job, well, not most, but a lot of people don't have a job, This woman is working through her lunch break, which I would think if you have a job, you know, we're all busting our behind and keep our jobs. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I just thought that was very odd. Did you all hear that story?
The only time that I think it would be an issue is if you're an hourly employee and you have to, like, they don't want to pay overtime. Basically, your employer's like, if you're working, you're expecting to be paid for working.
She had to punch out for lunch.
Right, because from what I heard was that she basically, you know, had been working. People knew that she worked through lunch and she worked through breakfast and whatever else. And then she turned around and was like getting harassed about that, I believe. And then she basically said, well, if I clock out, then it shouldn't be an issue anymore because I'm off the clock. I'm just doing work. So that really shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, you would think she would be praised for that because she's technically working on her own time.
So wait, she sued the company after she was fired for being at lunch? Okay, all right. I misunderstood. I thought she sued and then she was still at work and then they fired her.
No, what happened was she was working on my understanding of it is that, and I could be a little off, but my understanding is that she had a huge project that she was working on for work, but they had a policy where you have to take breaks. So she was trying to stay on top of her workload. So what she decided to do when her manager told her she needed to take a break, she punched out, but still stayed at her desk and worked so that she would stay on top of her workload.
Yeah,
and then her plan was to punch back in when her, hour, 45 minutes or whatever was up.
I wouldn't see the problem with that except that if it would
ridiculous.
be a matter of the company having another issue with her.
Yeah.
And they were just
And
trying
using
to find
that,
something.
yeah, or that they didn't like the behavior. I once had a boss tell me that I had to leave the building for lunch.
Yes, I've had that.
Had you had
before,
that?
yes.
This was a long time ago. She's like, but you have to leave the building.
Why?
I'm like, why? I don't want to leave the building.
Yeah.
I want
brought my lunch.
I brought my
I wanna
lunch.
eat
I want to
here.
sit at my desk.
Yeah.
So I could understand why she won because if she's not defrauding the company, then there's really no reason at all why she should. I mean, that would be tantamount to trespassing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. Speaking of someone else who's not doing so great on their job, is the captain of the Costa Concordia.
Captain Schettino.
Yeah, first of all, what a tragedy.
Skedaddle, get out of here.
What a tragedy, and our hearts
Yeah.
go out to the families
Yes.
that are definitely. It's a sad situation.
Very.
It's not funny, but it's just how
do you just leave?
He left, and the Coast Guard ordered him to get back on that
get
ship. And he
back.
was like, "But do you understand?" I'm going to say my best Italian. Do you understand that it is dark out here? And they were like,
serious?
honestly,
Yeah,
you know what I think
exactly.
happens is when you have a job like that, when you're being trained, and in your mind you're starting, you know what your responsibilities are. Okay, if the ship goes down, I go down with the ship, and
Exactly.
like
Titanic
but when
style.
Titanic style.
But when it comes down to really doing it, I mean, he
Yeah.
had to have been scared.
Yeah,
Not that
very.
he was right, but he had to have been scared.
He certainly, but he's trained. It is
responsibility.
his responsibility. I mean, I can't imagine that it is not instilled in people with this type of responsibility that they are the captain of the ship.
Yep.
They have to go down the ship. This is
Yep.
this is equal to anything in the military. You're there to provide leadership and to assess damages on that ship. He got out of the ship. He was one of the first ones out of the ship on the life craft.
Supposedly, when everything happened, he was actually asking dinner with another lady, something like that. And they say it was only like lightning technical problems, and that was it. But it was really like it was going down.
Meanwhile, there's water on my plate.
This is going to make me sound a little naive, but I thought that was like the captain goes down with the ship was kind of a, like I didn't know it was literal. And then when I saw Titanic, and I think a lot of people, you saw that as honorable and like, wow, he did it. But I didn't know that that's literally, like
You're
literally that's what you're
responsible.
supposed
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And that is key too. It's
Who would take that
dishonorable.
job? No, like knowing that's a literal.
Well,
seriously,
hopefully you would be somebody who would be changing the course of their ship and running into a
Yeah.
reef.
Yeah.
I mean, that was stupid in and of itself. I mean, that's
And I don't know how true it is, but I heard that he kind of was steering a little bit too close just to be able to kind of show off.
Yeah,
and,
we
you
were
know,
supposedly
do that
saluting
stuff.
another ex-captain on this
I don't
island.
know. I wasn't there, but
And I was. It was
You were there?
horrific. No,
Bad,
but yeah, it was a matter of really bad judgment and just really horrific.
Well, like most things, I'm sure Hollywood will eventually make a movie out of this. So
Yeah, they will.
Or
We'll
we'll get
Lifetime.
to see it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
a lifetime movie. Okay.
So we'll get to see another perspective. We will be back in a moment.